we are excited to introduce Dr. ABC, who said, "There are no manuals for disruption. Be brave. It is a call to action." Dr. Andrew Campbell is an educator, advocate, speaker, coach, storyteller, and author. He is a graduate of the University of Toronto with a PhD in educational leadership, policy, and diversity. He is currently a faculty member in the Master of Teaching program at the University of Toronto and an adjunct assistant professor at Queen's University. His research and scholarship focus on issues of equity, diversity, inclusion, cultural competency, educational leadership, 2S LGBTQ+ issues, and teacher performance evaluation. The theme of this conference is Embrace, Celebrate, and Advocate. And Dr. ABC passionately advocates for the right of every student to be able to embrace and walk in their own identity. Please join me in welcoming Dr. ABC.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good to see so many faces, especially good to see the faces of our students. And thank you so much for organizing such an amazing event. You know, many times we do this work of free to be and advocacy and inclusion and diversity, and we kind of forget sometimes the most important persons, and those are our students. And so for me, anytime there's an opportunity to speak to students, to speak with students, to engage with you concerning anything to do with advocacy, celebration of diversity, inclusion, I am most excited to be here. So I see all your students. I want to say welcome to every single person in the room. Your theme, Free to Be 2021. I love it. And embrace, celebrate, and advocate. And so as the opening keynote, I have the amazing opportunity to talk about embracing our identities. I heard from one of your leaders that next couple weeks you're going to be doing quite a bit of workshops, breakout workshops. I see the lineup from so many beautiful organizations and agencies, and I am excited to know that you're going to get what I consider to be the good stuff. You're going to get the good stuff. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about identity. I know we're talking about intersectionality. We know we're talking about LGBTQ issues. Whatever how you identify, all those conversations will be a part of what we're talking about today. And so I'm very excited to start it off. And why is it so important that we talk to students, to speak with students? Why is speaking to students so important to me? Because you are the future. You're going to be the one sitting in this chair, in this seat, in those offices, leading these things. And I want you to understand that, you know, we don't, as educators, we don't say that just to let you feel good. We say that because that is a fact. I am not that old, so I can remember when I was in grade 5. I can remember when I was in grade 7 like you. I can remember when I was in grade 11. I can remember all those times when someone spoke to me, someone encouraged me, someone, you know, made sure that I understood that it's important for me to know who I am and to embrace who I am. So I want to speak to you about that. So the theme, embrace. So I'm going to focus on embracing and embracing self. So today we want to focus on identity. And when I do a lot of workshops, I find that people are very big on policies, procedures. They are very big on, give me a document, let me see what the rule says, let me see what the process is. But we often forget that there are people, individuals who are responsible for all those papers. So I want to speak to you today, the individual. So we want to focus on the individual today and focus on who we are and embracing our identity. So who are we? You know, embracing who we are and all that we are is important. And I can see that there are many of us who are struggling to embrace who we are. And that is why your theme is free to be. Saw the connection? Free to be. Free to be whatever you want to be. Free to be your best self. Free to be all that you can be. Because many times we are not free to be all that we can be. And so we want to do that. We want to embrace the greatness in us. We want to embrace the broken pieces or the broken parts of us. We want to embrace the incomplete parts of us. Because you're young. You're young. You're not complete. Many of you are young. I want you to realize, don't be so hard on yourself. I find sometimes some of you are very hard on yourself because you want to be whole and perfect now. You are young. You have time to work on that. And that is why we are gathered here this afternoon. That is why we are logged in and signed in, because we want to work on embracing who we are and take the time to get to know who we are. So I want to begin to remind you the value and the importance of being your authentic self. You know, I'm sure many of you have seen examples in the media and social media of persons almost forcing to be someone else. I'm going to take 1 minute. So this is the only time I'm going to show you the screen or show you any video. I'm going to take 1 minute right now to share a video with you. So I want everybody to look carefully at the video. It's literally 1 minute. I want you to take a minute to look at this video. Okay? Give me a minute. All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for looking at that. So there's a lot we saw in that video just now. There's a lot we saw in that video just now. Absolutely a lot. And what I saw most of all was someone trying to be someone else, working hard to be someone else, almost being forced to be someone else. And you may ask yourself, why we need to do that? Why do we need to force to be someone else? But what does it say about our world around us? What does it say about our world? It is better to be fake and pretentious than be your authentic self. So many of us, especially as young people, we are being forced every day to engage in this act to be someone else so we can fit in. We are not embracing ourselves because we need to fit in. The answer is no. We don't need to force ourselves to fit in, because when we do that, you live a lie. You live with a lie and you become a lie. I want to repeat that. I want to repeat that so you understand where we're going with this conversation. When you are so taken by social media to be who you are not, you end up live a lie, live with a lie, and you become that lie. So today we want to ask ourselves a few questions to ensure we grow into being our authentic selves. So I'm going to ask all of us a few questions. And as we go along, I want us to ask those questions back. So when I ask you the question, I want you to ask yourself, not anybody else. Ask yourself. We are embracing our identities, our intersectionality, all the things that make us who we are. So let me be clear. This is not an easy process. Not an easy process. But getting to know yourself is important. I talked to someone the other day, just a couple of days ago, and the person said to me, I have never been single. And I go, what? And the person said, I've been from one relationship to the next, and I've never been single. This person has never had the time to stop and fall in love with themselves because they are always busy trying to be loved by someone else or trying to love someone else. Have you taken the time out to love yourself? I speak about love, self-love, and self-care a lot. And some people may think, oh, there's a selfish streak in you, Dr. ABC. No, there's not. The love I have for myself is the same love that I've nurtured and I've given to other persons. Sometimes I really wish I could bottle the love I have for myself and just sell it. Can you imagine you walk into a store, you see a whole bottle of real good love? But that's impossible. And so we have to nurture that love inside of all of us. So my first question to us is, who am I? First question, who am I? Ask yourself that question, who am I? Oftentimes, somebody asks you that question, you will say, well, my name is Andrew. That's my name. My name is Andrew. But you are more than your name. You are absolutely more than your name. There are many parts to you. And that is why we're talking about the intersectionality today. We're talking about the diversity. We're talking about the dynamics. We're talking about all the parts of us that makes us who we are. Do you embrace all of you? And if you don't embrace all of you, then why not? You know, we live in spaces where we are forced to dictate who we should be, right? We are also discriminated against based on our skin color, based on our race, our class, our socioeconomic status, based on our sexual orientation, our religion. Many of you have had to deal with racism, sizeism, fat shaming, colorism, all those things. And that is why I am so impressed with this conference, because you are spending quality time. And for those of you who are here, do not miss those breakout sessions. I won't be at the breakout session, but I can tell you, I have seen the lineup. You're in for a treat. Your leaders and your administrators and your counselors have put together a treat for you to unpack and to spend time, quality time with, to learn these things. So what is we talk about diversity a lot. What is diversity? It is, and I have a little definition for you. It is a conscious acceptance, belief, recognition and thought that difference exists. The one word I love in that is the word conscious. Conscious. We are not all the same. Have you embraced all that is a part of you? Have you consciously embraced who you are? Have you consciously embraced the difference in your classmates and your not just your classmates and your teachers? If you see me coming in your school tomorrow and we were back in school and you see me coming down the hall, 6'4", I have a Jamaican accent coming up, you know, I'm tall, I'm dressed up, I'm wearing all my badges and my thing. How would you see me? How would you perceive me? Would you embrace me? You know, a lot of us are afraid and ashamed of even our accent. I must say this to you. I can tell you, yes, 2 days ago, I substituted in a grade 7 class. And one of the students turned on his camera and he said, sir, where's your accent from? And I said, from Jamaica. And he said, grade 7, he said, I love your accent. He said that. He said, I love your accent. And that made me feel so good. Grade 7. But I can tell you, there are many students who have been bullied because of their accent. I'm going to shock you and surprise you a little bit. I have been in workshops where adults, not children, adults have pulled me aside and said to me, wow, it's so beautiful to hear you using your accent and even going to the Jamaican dialect every now and then. He said to me, I remember once he said to me, I am from Guyana. And he said, none of my coworkers have ever heard me speak with my Guyanese accent because I feel like if I speak with it, I'm going to be ridiculed and less than and embarrassed. And I said to him, you have to learn how to bring your whole self to work. Because you know what happens when we do not embrace all that we are? We lose parts of ourselves. We keep on erasing parts. Anybody remember in school? Let me see if I could find. I found a pencil. I'm at my desk. When you're working, you're writing, and you keep on erasing. You write something, you erase. You're not getting anywhere if you're consistently and constantly erasing parts of you. You're going to look on the paper one day and it's going to look like this. Empty. Be careful. Be careful how you allow others, listen me carefully, how you allow others to allow you to erase your identity. I'm going to repeat that. Be careful how you allow others to allow you to erase your identities. Another example I want to use. I was in a class, again, the same class, and a couple of the students had really beautiful, strange, new names. And I called their names and I said to them, if I call your name wrong, I want you to turn on your mic and correct me. And one young lady, she turned on her mic, she corrected me, loved her name, loved it. And then she said to me, oh, but if you don't want to bother, you can call me Jana. And I said, no, I want to be bothered. I stopped her and I said, no, I want to be bothered. I said, I am okay if you give permission for all your friends to call you by this short name. I am fine with that. But if you are choosing to shorten your name only because you're sick and tired of people getting your name wrong or don't want to call you by your name, then I'm going to tell you right now, we are not doing that. I said, I will take 2 minutes to practice your name because I'm not going to call you Jana because that's not your name. So what we're doing is little bits of pieces of erasing your name. And I could hear somebody, in maybe saying, well, it's just a name and it's nothing. But I want to say to you, if you consistently allow people to erase pieces and pieces and pieces and pieces of yourself, you will not be here. Can I share something with you? Growing up, people wanted to erase my effeminacy. I want to erase I have a very loud mouth, beautiful, loud, strong voice. And I realized something, that my mouth is not loud. My mouth is not loud. I have a strong voice. There are people who would pay to have my voice, and my voice pays me well. But remember, that voice, when I was growing up, people wanted to erase it. The dreams I had that I want to be amazing and fabulous, people want to erase this. Why you want to be fabulous? That's not a word to describe a boy. And if you don't be careful, you keep erasing yourself. So I want you to know that. The next word is equity, because you're going to get these words in your workshop. Equity. What does that mean? It means a state, a condition or a state of fair inclusion, respectful treatment of all people. And of course, inclusion, the conscious behavior and reaction to recognize and accepting others. Conscious. Later in the month, I will be back to talk to you about advocacy. And we'll get deeper into that later on. Then my next question is, do you belong here? Do you belong here? In the class you're at, in the school, do you feel a sense of belonging? And if not, why not? There are many indicators that say we belong. But there are also many indicators that say you don't belong. How are you creating a sense of belonging for others? Let me ask you that. I want you to realize that when you embrace yourself, you are better to embrace others. You check all the people who have bullied each other or bullied people. You check their history. These are the very people who are afraid and ashamed of many parts of their lives. So as you learn to belong, I want you to learn how to embrace others and to create a sense of belonging in your class. As we talk about belonging, there's a word I'm going to talk about later on, and that's called self-advocacy. What does that mean? Self-advocacy is the ability to speak up for yourself and the things that are important to you. Self-advocacy means you are able to ask for what you need and to tell people what your thoughts and feelings are. Do you know how many people are abused and they do not know how to speak up for what they need? What do you need from your teachers? What do you need from your parents? What do you need from your school? What do you need from whatever we're giving you? Even this session, what do you need from this session? I am sure there are going to be parts when they're going to ask you to evaluate and give them feedback. Tell them what you need. So when they plan Free to Be 2022, we can consider even more of what you need. So we make sure we give you what you need. My next question is, this is a powerful one. If you are sitting back in your chair, I want you to pull closer for this one. What am I good at? A powerful one. What am I good at? Dr. ABC, why did you include that in embracing identity? Why did you include that question? Aren't we talking about intersectionality and LGBTQ issues and race and religion? Why are you talking about what am I good at? You're off topic, no? I am very much on topic. Very much intentional, because I'm going to tell you right now. It is shocking how easily we find fault in ourselves. I know there are social workers and counselors here, and you can agree with me. I see some of you nodding your heads. It's so shocking how easily we find fault in ourselves. We are used to that. We can easily tell you what is broken or what is not working, but we fail at saying what we are good at. Do you know what you're good at? If you don't know, you must know. Invest some time in getting to know the things you're good at. Because when you know what you're good at, you're better able to chase after those dreams and those passions and those ideas and those creative juices that are flowing inside of you that you don't even realize. You're a genius. You're amazing. You're good at what you do. Today I make a very good living from talking. I'm talking to you. Do you know when I was in high school, I'm going to give you a joke. When I was in elementary school and high school, my report cards would go home to my parent. And it would say, Andrew does this, Andrew does well, Andrew does just, Andrew did this. And many of my teachers would say, but Andrew talks too much. I was good at talking. I didn't know that was a skill. I thought one day I want a job that I could just take the mic. I have a fake mic here. Where is it? Somewhere up there. I take the mic. My fake mic is up there. Just take the mic and just talk. And then when I got older, I realized people are getting money to be talk show hosts. I was like, why didn't my teacher tell me that in elementary school? Why didn't I have a teacher that pulled me aside and said, maybe you should be a talk show host or a radio personality or a DJ or a keynote speaker or a conference speaker? I'm going to tell you this. Not one of my teachers told me that. They just wrote on my report, Andrew talks too much. But look at it today. I make a good living from talking. I can't stop talking. I can't stop talking because I know I'm good at it. But I'm going to surprise you. I tried to play the piano. I want to get into music. I tried to play the piano. After 2 lessons, I stopped. Was not good at it. I went to school to play the drum. Many people don't know that about me. I signed up for a drum class and they gave me the drum. I like a drum palette. I like a little round, little baby drum, I would guess, for me to tap. 1 class and I didn't go back. I wasn't good. Not even the little drum, Lisa, I wasn't good at. And then I went to baking school. Oh yes, I will never forget. It was summer night. See, I'm going to age myself now. I'm not as young as I look. I keep on telling you that. It was summer 1993. I went to baking and cake decorating school. I have not baked a cake in maybe more than 15 years. You have to know what you're good at and what you're not good at. So I want you to do an homework for me. Oh, yes. I know you're saying, really? You're the guest speaker. You can't give me homework. Oh, yes, I can. Oh, yes, I can. I absolutely can. And your homework is, I want you to make a good at list. So write it down. Make a good at list. What am I good at? I want you to list all the things you're good at. I am good at organizing. I am very good at time management. I am good at cooking. I am good at colors and style and fashion. I am good at, people say I'm good at giving advice. I hope so. I continue to do so, so I hope so. I am good at a lot of things. You have to know what you're good at, because when you know what you're good at, you embrace it. It takes you to your dreams. It takes you to your desire. It takes you to what you want to be. My best friend is a doctor. One of my best friends is a doctor. He's good at medical stuff. I am not good at a cut. If you get a cut, I am the first person to go, oh, no. I can't do cut. Can you imagine me trying to go to doctor school or medicine school or what do you call it, medical school? Can you imagine? I will fail in the first semester. So I want you to learn to embrace what you're good at. Learn to embrace what you're good at. My next question is, how can I show up as my whole self? So we talked about who we are. Remember, we talked about who we are. Where do we belong? What we're good at. And now we want to put that all together to show up. Show up as our whole self. Many of us have had to dim our lights. Many of you had to dim your lights. So we become someone else to fit in. And I know as a in high school, you're thinking, we have a lot of peer pressure. Adults have peer pressure. Adults have peer pressure. We are pressured to get married. We are pressured to have kids. Pressure to own our homes. Pressure to live our best life. And I want to say something about that, because a lot of you're on Instagram. And everybody wants to snap a picture showing you living your best life. I want to say this to you. We have different ways of living our best life. I want to repeat that. There are many ways to live our best life. And some of us, we are being forced to live a fake life because we see one picture. Isn't it weird, Amy and Miss Lisa, how we get carried away because one person posts a picture, they're in a first class seat, and all of a sudden you feel like your life is nothing because you didn't post a picture in a first class seat. We have to be careful how we allow social media carefully to take away our identity, to rob us of who we are and how we want to be. I love someone who is original. When I meet people who are original, I laugh. They give me so much joy. I just laugh. I have been on the subway and I see people come on the subway and they are dressed very original. And I look at them and I just smile. I just think, how much joy it must be to just put on exactly what you want to wear and don't care about what's in style. What a joy. If you know the joy I feel to get up in the morning and just wear what I want to wear and do what I want to do, it's a joy to know who you are. You know, when we break and we bend to pressure, we forget who we are. We don't recognize who we are. So the sooner you know who you are and your authentic self is better, because there's always going to be a problem. You're either too slim, too fat, too tall, too short, too loud, too aggressive, too quiet, too shy, too passive, too ambitious. Your dreams are too big, too weird, too out there. I hear people say, oh, that's too out there. I don't know where out there is. When people say to somebody, that's so out there, I always say, out there where? I don't know where. Out there where? Like, where is out there you're talking about? Where is out there? And I want to say this to someone who's listening to me. It's not on my script, but I feel the need to say this. When you have your dreams, share your dreams. Take care of your dreams and share your dreams with teachers and parents and uncles and aunts and friends who will encourage your dreams. Oh, when you tell them what you want to be, they'll be like, what? Of course, you can be that and push you to your dreams. The next question I want to ask you is, how do I walk in my identity? How do I walk in my identity? Now you know who you are. How do you identify? Some of us, we are indigenous. We're black. We're racialized. We're mixed. We are 2S LGBTQ. We identify as immigrants. We're Muslims. We are Christians. We're Catholic. We are Hindu. Whatever. We don't believe. We don't have religions. How do you identify? Be proud. You start by being proud of who you are. I find there is a problem when we don't know who we are. If there are parents listening, because I know there are parents listening because your students are home. So I want to stop. I really want to stop and say good afternoon to all the parents listening in the background. I know some of you are making snack, you're doing lunch, you're working also. I want to say good afternoon to all the parents listening. Parents, I want you to make sure you spend time to teach your kids who they are. Teach them who they are, their full identity. Teach them a part of their culture, why we do certain things, why we do this prayer, why we eat this, why we talk about this, why we talk like this, why we wear this. Let them value who they are. Because when they don't value who they are, they keep searching to be someone else. They keep searching to be someone else. You see this this LGBT pin I have here? Anybody like it? It's just fabulous. It's glistening. Anybody like it? It's a rainbow. And I'm wearing my shirt. But my shirt says be kind. I'm wearing my be kind shirt today. Because I want to give you a message in my t-shirt. Be kind. That's a powerful superpower. For those who don't know, kindness is a superpower. Oh, I mean it. Kindness is a superpower. I bet you, if we could find more of you being kind, we have less problems of racism. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, you didn't know that? If more of you are kind, we have less racism. Oh, you think racism needs a whole big thing to dismantle it? It needs your kindness. If we are more kind, we have less anti-Asian racism. We have more anti-black racism. We have less homophobia. Be kind. So let me get back to my LGBT pin here. You see that pin there? I'm going to tell you something. This pin does not make me gay. Okay? I knew I liked boys from when I was 6. 6, that's grade 1. And just so you know, the research supports that. The studies in all the books says that. We know who we are very early. It says our psychologists, child development psychologists will tell you we develop our identity quite early. But I want to zero in on something. But stop for a minute. Stop for a minute. And imagine me growing up, fighting every day not to be myself. I want to repeat that. I know who I was early. I know what I felt. I know what I liked. I know all that kind of stuff. And the research says many of you do. Grade 2, grade 1, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, whatever grade you are in, high school, you know. But because of society norms, I fight who I am every day. Think about that. What a war. Talk about violence. Let's talk about the violence on the inside. Fighting as I wake up at 6 a.m. Fighting myself as I play with my friends. Try not to play with the girls. Try not to play with the dolls because I must play with the toys or the trucks or do the things that the boys do. Fighting on my way to school. Fighting on my way back. Fighting not to be effeminate or girly. Fighting to do what even my church said I should be. Many of you are fighting, and that's a horrible war to fight on the inside. That is why the theme says embrace. Embrace. Everybody do that for me. Come on, everybody take a minute and do that for me. Embrace. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Patricia. Embrace. And I see many of you doing it. Thank you. But don't let go yet. Don't let go. Embrace. I'm going to surprise you. Do you feel your hands touching you? Do you feel you touching you? It's a level of connection that we don't know. We learn how to embrace. Thank you so much for doing that. Embracing who you are. Hugging who you are. Holding dear to who you are. That's what embrace means. It means hugging who you are. Holding dear to who you are. Feeling who you are. Knowing who you are. And my favorite one, loving who you are. There are people who are questioning why the things they do bad to me don't get to me. Because I love me so much. I don't even pay them any mind, you know. I don't even pay them any. There are people out there who think I pay them mind. I don't. I am busy trying to be cute. I am busy trying to take care of my skin. I am busy trying to dress up nice to come to this workshop today. I am busy making sure my teeth is clean. Okay. I am busy making sure I had a good cup of tea this morning. I am busy this morning at 6:30. I took a walk. I had my breakfast. I had fried plantain and fried egg. I am busy taking care of myself. Busy embracing myself. That's an hashtag. That's an hashtag. Busy embracing myself. Oh, I like that. Hashtag busy embracing myself. Lisa, you like that hashtag? I love it. Hashtag busy embracing myself. You know what? Because the statistics is here. It talks about the stigma and the discrimination. There are some very sad statistics. I'm not going to go into it because I know in your workshops you're going to get that. One statistic I have here says 60% of LGBTQ youth reported being sad and hopeless. And they stop doing their usual activities. Another statistic I have here said in 2016-2017 survey by HRC, 28% of LGBTQ youth, including 40% of transgender youth, said they felt depressed most of the time, or all the time during the last 30 days. I want you to understand, when we fight ourselves and we don't embrace ourselves and we hurt ourselves, we destroy ourselves. We don't want you to be destroyed. At the SIMCOE school board right here, we don't want you to be. And you might say, oh, but you are the guest speaker. What you know about us? Oh, I know quite a bit. I have been into workshop with your leaders. I have listened to the voices of your leaders. And they are very much intended on being intentional about inclusion in your school. I have had maybe 3 opportunities to talk to your principals and your superintendents and leaders. And I can tell you, you have teachers who care. You have principals who care. They want you to embrace yourself. They want you to embrace who you are. They want you to come to school with your whole self so they can treat you exactly how they know you want to be treated. So the last question we close with today is why is it important to show up as my whole self? And I'll say this to you. There is freedom and growth. Freedom and growth in being who you are. And that's why your theme says free to be. Free to be. So when I'm going to leave with you, 10 things I want you to find. Last year, 2020, May, and for those who don't know, May is Ida Hot. I'm sure some of you know that. May is Ida Hot, the International Day Against Homophobia, right? And transphobia. And I want you to understand, last year, when I spoke at a couple of events, every time I had a talk, I left the same 10 reminders with everybody. If you are here struggling today, if you are here not embracing yourself, if you are here and you are unhappy, you are here and you're going through the phase where you're not sure who you are, I want you to be very kind to yourself and take the time to learn yourself. You are not in any hurry. You don't need to be hurried by anyone. I want you to take your time to find who you are. So the 10 things. Find yourself. Find your resilience. That thing that says to you, I am going to be the best me. Find your resistance. That thing inside of you that says, you will not take away who I am. Find your resistance to when somebody wants to abuse you, to say no. Somebody wants to destroy you, to say no. Somebody wants you to drop out of school and to give up and to throw away your dreams. Just say no. Find your resistance. Find your hope. That's a beautiful word. It's hope. We don't talk about hope anymore. It's a beautiful word. To always hope. It keeps you strong and it keeps you alive. Find your strength. And I don't want you to say to me, but I am always weak. No, you are not. No, you are not. There is strength inside of you that you have not pulled out. You have not pulled out. And that is why I'm going to ask the teachers who are listening to me. I need you to encourage your students to find their strength. Who are you? What are you good at? What is your superpower? Find it. Find it. Find your people. What do you mean by that, Dr. ABC? Your people are the ones, your friends, who celebrate you and encourage you. When you tell your friends you get an A and they go, okay, you got an A. That's your people. When you say to them, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a pilot, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a chef, I want to be a singer, I want to be a basketball player, and they said, go for it. Those are your people. When you are having emotional turmoil and you're trying to decide even about your identity and your sexuality, and you speak to a friend and they tell you they love you and they encourage you and they said, I love you no matter who you are or how you identify. Those are your people. Find your people. Find your voice. And I didn't say find your loud voice. I said, find your voice. Because your voice may not be as loud or strong as mine. But I can tell you, I'm going to shock you. Amy, the teacher I had in school that I think I was scared of the most, she had the lowest voice. She had a low voice. But let me tell you something. I listened to everything she said. I did not disobey. So loud voice don't mean powerful all the time. Find your voice, your still voice. Whatever voice you have, find it. Use it. Speak up for yourself. I can't wait to be back to talk about self-advocacy. Speaking up for yourself. Find your joy. Find your joy. There are people who are surprised. Dr. Campbell, you're always happy. No, I'm not always happy. But I'm very happy many times or most of the times. Because you know what I've done, Lisa? I found my joy. I find the things that give me joy. Be honest, have you ever gone out with someone and when you finish, you just feel, this was a waste of my whole evening. Like they made me miserable. This is just a waste of time. You know what some of you do? You go back with them again tomorrow. Oh no. Me, I hide from them. I hide. Oh no. People who suck my joy, they do. Lisa, if the first time we hung out and I feel like you suck all my joy out of me, we are not hanging out again. I can tell you that. No, because I want to protect my joy, Lisa. I want to protect my joy. Find your happiness. That's different from joy. That's the part of you that is on display, that you celebrate. What makes you happy? Do you have a favorite song? Do you have a favorite move? Do you have a favorite dance? Find your happiness. And the last one, find your power. It's inside you. Find your power. It's inside you. You know what? We have come to the end of this conversation, this discussion, this keynote. And I want to talk to you for another day, a whole another day, because I feel your energy. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for pulling close. When I said pull close to your computer, I could see some of you pulling close. When I said hug yourself, you did it. Thank you so much for allowing me in your space to share this amazing day with you. I wish every school board had this focus of celebrating who you are and free to be. Free to be. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell, for that. That was energetic and inspiring and just amazing. What a great way to kind of